Hello everybody, my name is Ahmed and thank you for joining today my channel. In today's video, we will explain about the Nutanix Health. I hope you have gone through my previous videos, which it explains how you can install the Nutanix Community Edition in your lab environment in case you do not have access to Nutanix in your work or you do not already have it in your home. So Nutanix Health is the heart of the Nutanix cluster. Basically, it provides an insight to the health of the cluster. We can go to the Nutanix Health either by clicking on the heart or by selecting it from here. On the left side, we have the entity types. All the health are segregated as per the entity. You have cluster services, storage containers, storage pools, disks, hosts, and virtual machines. On the right side, you have a summary of all the checks, number of checks, how many is passed and how many is failed. As you can see, I have around 6 failed. I have 3 warnings, and then you might see errors as well, or off. You have the ability to turn off any of the checks, which I do not recommend it, but Nutanix does provide that feature for you as well. And then you can see how many of them are scheduled, how many is not scheduled, and how many are just event triggered. In case an event, a specific event is triggered, you will see that warning or health triggered over here inside the Nutanix. In case if you want to do any kind of like on-demand check, you can go to the actions, and then you can do manage checks, or you can set NCC frequency, run NCC checks, and collect logs from here. What is interesting over here that I think if any of you guys have taken Nutanix certification, I think the entry one, which I'm not quite sure, I think it's a Nutanix certified associate. You might find 3 to 4 questions only from this page. For example, there might be a question regarding how many for frequency will be how many hours, 4 hours a day or week. Just like I don't remember the questions, but it could be from here, or for example, from where you can run the NCC checks on demand, which will be from the health actions, run NCC checks. So yeah, so if you, in case you want to do any kind of like run NCC checks, which is on demand of all the checks which are over here, we can just go to the actions and then run NCC checks, and you can find out from here which one you want to select. You can either select all checks, or you can say that okay, only fail and warning checks, which is around 6, or specific checks. You can put the specific checks which you want over here, and then it will run it for you. I will just go ahead and say all checks. You can put send cluster checks report in the email as well. Mine, I have not configured SMTP, and I do not have SMTP in my home lab, so that's why it's not showing over here. So I'll just go ahead and click run. It will trigger a new task for me over here, and as you can see over here, and later on we'll come back over here and find out what will be the result inside it. So let's go back again over here. In case if you want to go, you want to drill down to any of them, you can just click on it. Errors, for example, if something is failed. For example, we have CVM using default password. If I click on it, it will show me that my CVM is using a default password, which is against the best practice or of the security, and it has the risk with it. So it's It's kind of like the tests which are available, or that will give you an insight into hardware level, software level, and security level as well. So I can turn this check off, so it will not show for me. But again, this is not a good practice. And then again, I can turn check on in case if I wanted to see, and I wanted to show for me. Let's go back to the entities. Let's see what I can do. We can go from the entity type as well. We can drill down inside it, and then find out more what are the stuff which is for each entity. For example, in cluster services, we can see the failed one, which is with the cluster services. All of this one's there. If I go on a host level, you will see that we have the default password for the host, and then we have some sort of latency of the CVM available, which could make sense because my home lab, I do not have a proper hardware, you can say, available. Okay, so meanwhile, until the health check is finished, I will pause the video and then I'll get back to you guys again. Okay, I'm back again. So let's go back to the task. As you can see, it's finished and it succeeded. I'll click on succeed and then download output. You can see over here how many passed, info, warn, error, and fail, and total again. If I click on this downloaded file, you will see over here the count again on top as a summary, and then you will have a details like on which node and what was the test or check which failed, and again what was the reason for it, and it will tell you as an explanations that what you need to look for it. Beside that, it will give you a KB, which if I put it inside my browser, it will take us to the Nutanix support, and you will see the summary of the failed error and what could be the cause of it. I would say most of the errors you will be able to find out the reason for it and to find a solution for it. But in rare cases which you won't be able to find a solution, or if the solution doesn't work for you, you will have to go with the support. Unfortunately for Community Edition, there is no support available from the Nutanix, but there is a strong community available which you can provide your errors there, and there are people who are expert in Nutanix and even employees of the Nutanix which will be available over there to support you. One more thing which I wanted to add over here is that as you can see here, if I go to the checks, you will see that all these checks are available. If I click on any of them, let's say this one, we will see the status for this check available on all disks and as per the date. As I said, we can turn off and turn on the check. We can run the check on the spot. We can put an alert policy for it, or we can schedule it for a specific test if you want to do it every minute 5, as you can see over here. If you want to run the same checks from the CLI, we can do that. We just need to log into the CVM. Once you are logged inside the CVM, you can simply use NCC health checks and run all, and this will initiate the health check for it will be equivalent to running the NCC checks and then selecting all checks which is from the GUI. Same one will be done from the CLI. This is good in case for any reason, let's say you're not able to access the GUI, you're not able to log in inside the GUI, so you can run it from here, just like any other hypervisor. Whatever you see inside the GUI, you'll be able to do it through the CLI, and for some cases which the GUI doesn't work for you, then you can do it only from the CLI. Like, you will have more options on CLI level, but because of it's much easier to do it from the graphical than most people, or me, for to be more specific, I do it as well, that we use the graphical user interface. Okay, so as you can see, it's running over here, just like what we saw over there. First will be the name of the cluster, cluster ID, cluster UID, and then the cluster version, which I believe it's iOS, and then we have the HCVM and the IP, and the IP for the hypervisor, and then the rest of them will continue over here. So if we go to the task, we will see that it will kick in over here. So I don't know, it might take some time, but here you go. As you can see over here, it's kicked in. So it takes a bit of time until it's finished. What else should I say about the health? Okay, so if we select any of this checks which we saw from the checks, let's say CVN subnet, or let's say IP configuration, for example. I have already mentioned that turn checks off and on. You will have alert policy as well. If you go on alert policy, you will see that you can enable alert for duplicate IP address detected, which is obviously it's a good idea. So if there is a duplicate IP address detected, it will give you a warning. You can remove this for whatever reason that you want to remove it. So in case there is a duplicate IP address detected, it will not give you a warning, which again, I do not encourage you or suggest you to do that. And one more thing is there, that it will auto resolve this alert. Like, in case if it's sorted out, it will automatically resolve it for you. So if you put this one on, that means if, let's say, within 1 hour it's finished, you won't see it over here, and it will be removed from here. But inside the summary of the alert which you will receive by email, you will see that, okay, such an alert was there, but it was resolved automatically. So for some specific alerts, maybe you don't want to be resolved automatically, you can remove it for those alerts. And that's all for the health check. So this one is running, as you can see, and you can even run the NCC health check for one specific check if you want. There are commands available. You can do either NCC health checks help to get the details of all the checks which are available, or from here you can even select them. Okay, thank you very much.